Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of our super replay of Yoshi's Island. I'm joined again by Dan Ryckert.
Hey.
And we have a new guest, Sir Kyle.
Hey, I'm still trying to figure out a catchphrase. I'm still working on it.
All right.
We have catchphrases?
I do. Well, I'm working on one.
Oh, okay.
But wait, that's not all. In the darkness, out of the shadows comes Timothy Turi.
Oh,
Sitting there holding a weird styrofoam cup like a weirdo.
Sorry, I'm trying to hear the song that's playing. If it's my
Timothy.
favorite one yet.
I can't believe I hadn't
No,
thought
this
to
one isn't
call
the
you
best.
Timothy this whole time.
Hi. It's good to be here. How's this game going for everyone?
It's so great. It's still so good.
I'm wondering if we're going to encounter the athletic theme for Yoshi's Island 2 in this replay episode.
From Yoshi's Island 2.
Yoshi's Island 1? Mario World 2, Yoshi's
Yes,
Island.
thank you. Thank you.
So you guys going for red coins and all?
No, I'm
No.
actually just trying to go through it fairly quick.
Clearly.
Not speed run, but I'm just kind of messing around.
If he sees one, he won't avoid it.
Yeah.
Dan didn't know about the magnifying glass that shows you where the red coins are.
Still
Yeah.
don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, Kyle knows.
I know. I 100% of this game on SNES and Game Boy Advance.
I did
Look
on
at that
SNES,
guy.
and I don't remember any
It
magnifying
actually
glass.
it took me 6 years. Not like I was playing the game consistently for 6 years, but you know, I 100%ed like 80% of the
Whoa.
game and stopped playing it. Then 6 years later, I finally finished on my save file.
Is it Super Nintendo or GBA?
Super Nintendo.
Now, how
Okay.
much money did you get for doing that, Kyle? Because I remember that Nintendo
Um,
was sending out, I think it was $20 bills for some of the early Nintendo games for 100%ing, and that they scaled back to 10 to 15 bucks. They'd send every kid that 100%ed.
Since it took me 6
Super
years, I
Nintendo.
ended up actually having to pay Nintendo.
Oh, okay. So you were.
So I paid for the game and
Oh,
I had
there's
to
a
send them an
deficit.
additional $35.
And then the
Okay.
interest has to be factored in.
How is
Yeah.
that? I mean, because I know some people have problems with student loans or car payments, but how is your Yoshi's Island 100% debt then?
Well, you know,
I-
it's
I know you have a
it's
kid.
it's a tough monthly payment to make.
The Shy Guy goons knock on your door every once in a while.
Yep.
Steal
And now
your-
I've got
steal
a
your
re-
kid.
now I've got a real baby, and they keep trying to take my baby now. So,
Do you throw eggs at them?
oh yeah, of course. I've always got a healthy
Maybe the Shy Guy
bank
took your
of
baby.
eggs.
Let me ask you a question. Now, there is a lot of elements in this game that I feel like are totally out of character with like the entire Mario universe. Like
yeah.
those tiny little star dudes with legs that run
Yeah.
around. Like they don't appear anywhere else this entire universe.
They get their own game with Starfy, I think. It's a spin-off.
Oh, gotcha. Ristar.
So Dan, you've never gotten 100% and all the bonus levels and all that stuff?
I did
or-
on Super Nintendo.
Okay.
I did not do it with the GBA one.
GBA had extra levels.
That's what we talked about before. Do you remember one called Items Are Fun in the GBA where it's just this cluster F, if I may say that?
Vaguely. I remember
Watch
there
your
was
mouth.
one where you had to like you had all the different vehicles that Yoshi
Yep.
could turn into. I really didn't enjoy those bonus levels. They were really hard. And
Those weren't in the
not very
original
fun.
game?
No, the Game Boy
Oh,
Advance had
really?
like 6 new levels.
Okay, because I remember those were pretty ill-fitting, in my opinion. I only played the
yeah.
game for the first time on the GBA, probably like 3 years ago. I played this at like a local like electronics store that was on display, and I played a bunch of it then towards the end of the Super Nintendo's lifespan. The game didn't capture my attention enough. Like I
That's
always
so crazy because you're a crazy Mario fan at the time, right?
Yeah, but I like platforming. I remember then that I did not want to have to escort this kid around and worry about him.
I don't see it as an escort.
Yeah,
thing.
it seems like everybody's just concentrating fully on Mario and not focusing just on the mechanics of playing as Yoshi.
Yeah, no, they are, and I was because you get trained to play Mario for so many years, and I just that's not what I wanted. I loved Mario World. I liked playing as Mario and having Yoshi be kind of the afterthought.
I guess my thing though is that this doesn't feel like I'm escorting someone or something. This just feels like I'm controlling.
It's almost it's like
Yoshi.
your life meter. It just happens
Yes,
to be
right.
Mario.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
What it feels
Exactly.
like to me is just like Sonic with the rings.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
hit, you just gotta go
that's-
get the rings.
That's
It's the
a
same
really-
So
mechanic, and I
basically,
love it.
Tim, you're incorrect.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand that I have my opinions wrong. I get that.
Yeah,
I've been
right.
dealing with that the most of my life.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. I think it's just the fact that Yoshi wasn't green all the time. Like I
I
don't
like
know.
that.
That's
Different
fine.
Flavors of Yoshi.
I like this more than Mario World personally.
Thank you, Kyle. You're the first person.
The
to agree
overall
with me.
game.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a matter of circumstance. I just, you know,
Yep.
I just played this one more. I actually played this one first.
Kyle, I knew
Oh, wow.
when you
Yeah.
started, there was a reason Thank you for giving me some evidence now. I knew there's a reason I
welcome.
didn't like you, and it was just one of those intangible things. And now,
Well, it's weird because I'll be at my desk, working, and I'll just look over, and you're just like staring at me, like
He does that.
pissed, like so mad. I've never understood why.
Well, the funny thing is that I reposition my desk so my back is to you, and so I'm looking over my shoulder at you doing that. I guess I can see where you're coming
It
from.
seems kind of uncomfortable. Like it's obviously deliberate. Like if it was just a peripheral thing for you, I would be like, oh, I'm crazy. He's not really looking at me, but I mean, you are deliberately turned around. Just
I mean, it's the same sort of, it's as deliberate
Don't hate
as,
my way.
your ignorance. Like as far as the way that you sort of just kind of push it's almost like you're proud of how ignorant you are sometimes.
I think that's a fair statement.
And I guess I'm wondering how that's going to translate into a conducive working like partnership between you and I.
Well, we've only had a couple fights, only one fist fight. So
Well, that's only because I'm faster than you.
yeah.
And I have a strong fight or flight, and it was fight that time.
Oh, these are all lies.
Dan, I can't wait for you to get on skis.
Yes, I know. That's one of my favorite parts.
So Tim, what made you pick this game up again?
It was just one of those things where I realized that there was a huge game missing, and there was a huge gap in my gaming library,
Is that
especially
really?
with Mario.
Get up there?
And
I was about to say, I thought you could, like, if you just stand still and hold it, you go up, don't you?
Like if I just stand still.
Yeah, just.
You get a
reminds me of
little bit
Zelda.
thing.
Okay.
Will you guys look at Tim?
Tim.
Just acknowledge that he's alive. He's telling a story.
No, it's
He's pouring
fine.
his heart out over
Sorry,
there.
Tim. This is. This is what we're talking about. This is why you don't like me. 'Cause
I
just
haven't
ignore what you-
registered a word Tim has said in 8 or 9 months.
Well, that speaks to the quality of the game.
I thought you said you were hard of hearing, Dan.
I don't hear very well.
Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to play this game, so that's why I picked it back up. Thanks for asking, Ben.
Tim, I'm sorry.
Oh no, this is bad news.
I feel like this was mostly my fault.
No, I'd be comfortable blaming Dan.
Okay.
Come here. Get. Okay, got it.
You
I
should have
hate
just jumped.
Lakitu.
You should have just jumped on that with your head. Your head skulls.
Oh god, go. I really hate any levels with Lakitu.
So Kyle, what did you think about the sound effects they added in the GBA version?
Oh,
For
I didn't.
Yoshi?
I don't know. I didn't really.
Added?
They
Yeah, they put in
know.
voice samples. Where in this one, he just kind of makes fun dinosaur sounds. They added kind of like the Super Smash Brothers sound effects for Yoshi. So he does that weird like when he's doing that like extra float.
Wait,
thing.
what was
the
it that he does?
constipation noise?
Yeah, it's like.
Wait, is that so? That's can you do one more? I didn't quite hear.
I'll
you
do
If
it
you
again,
could spell
Kyle.
it would be HRRRNNNNGH.
Yeah.
with the emoticon for the closed eyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like every murder scene in a JRPG. That's what the guy says. Yeah, exactly. Kyle, could you do your impersonation of Baby Mario crying?
I don't know if I can do it on the
Pretty
spot.
good.
I'll have to like wait till no one's paying attention to me.
Right? Did they add that sound?
What sound is that? That's pretty good.
Kyle, that was horrific.
That one
We
was
did it
good.
before we
I did a
recorded.
good one earlier. I did a good one earlier.
God.
That was not
What's
it.
happening here?
Can
What?
you train your new baby to cry in that way?
I don't have to train. I don't have to
God.
train her nothing. She can cry all on her. She
Not
can cry,
no
she can cry.
words. Not no speaking.
No. She can cry all on her own. I'm saying she can cry on her own. She's good at crying.
She
That's
do
why
her
she's
own
good at it.
learnings. What do you think we moved up here, Minnesota for?
Yeah, that's southern. That's southern accent coming through.
Stupid. You need to play a level that has the Yoshi's Island athletic theme.
So I have this soundtrack on my iPod,
You should.
and I do.
Well,
Tim,
great.
just in case we don't get to that, we'll go back to a level that has it just for you.
I can just play. I can pull it
Thanks.
up on my
Thanks,
iPod.
man.
You're welcome.
and
Are you
just
guys
play it.
all familiar with the like professional ragtime
nice.
piano player
You've
that
pulled it up a billion times on YouTube. I've seen that.
it's amazing. The guy does other great tunes, but this was the first one that I noticed. Like, if you're not familiar with the video, like this kid goes into like what I assume is like his piano teacher and throws down just the Yoshi's Island 2 athletic theme, which is like this ragtimey, really fun song. And the guy is so good at the piano that he just sight reads it. And he just starts playing it. He kind of works out some of the harder chords and just burns through it, adding like these crazy flourishes to it and stuff.
Love it.
And then the other musicians come in, like a guy comes in with like a huge tuba and like lady comes in with a flute, and they all play it together. And like the pure joy that these musicians, these professional musicians, get out of playing this video game music, which people write off a lot, and how much fun they're having with it objectively, just as a piece of music, is so validating as far as like people that are obsessed with game music like me.
Right,
and if you
right.
haven't seen this clip, you need to watch it and then follow it and see all the other sight readings that he does. They do another one with Super Mario World's athletic theme, and he plays it. He does a great job with it, and then and then the kid's like, okay, yeah, that was great, but it's supposed to be played fast, and then he just does it like double time and still kills it.
Oh, I think I've seen that actually, because I know you're talking about that, because that's what I remember him speeding it up significantly.
Yeah.
Well, here's one thing I always wonder about Tim here. Is okay, so you always say like, you know the actual name of every track that's ever been in a game, 16-bit or whatever. Does anyone in this room know, like, would you know that it was called the athletic theme?
I do, just from Smash Brothers.
Okay.
I reference it by the level.
I mean, if it wasn't for like YouTube and the internet, I would never. You would have no way of knowing.
Right.
Unless you were actively trying to go after to listen to these
What
songs.
about the credits? You know, maybe the credits that list the music.
I don't think so.
Not
titles?
even.
No.
I don't think. I mean,
This song always. I always hear Santa Claus is coming to town in that song.
interesting.
I think you're just distracted by the snow, which is what I was going to point out, because when you start this level, it's not snowing, and it slowly fades in more and more. Kind of like in that Scott Pilgrim date scene, if you want to get
got an
nerdy.
F.
I have not seen it.
48.
In the book, it's especially cool.
Is that movie
Dan,
good? Scott
That
Pilgrim?
movie's amazing. You should also read the books.
Wait,
I
what?
know you aren't much
Wait,
into
what? Are you
reading.
talking about?
No.
He hasn't
Pilgrim.
seen Scott Pilgrim?
No.
What's wrong with you?
I hate Michael Cera, and it just looks kind of dumb.
You hate
Edgar
Michael
Wright.
So you
It's
won't
Edgar
read
Wright.
the comics?
It's Edgar Wright, man. You kind of.
I love Edgar Wright.
I know, and it's an Edgar Wright film. It like screams Edgar Wright.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
great.
see it, and I might like it. I don't know.
How crisp this looks after that snow scene.
Yeah, it's
So
great.
beautiful.
I don't know. I just don't like stupid video game humor, I guess. Like, I see
not.
the shirt
It's
where it's like,
not,
this is
man.
why I'm hot. And it's a picture of a fire flower. I hate
No.
crap
It's
like
not
that.
Yeah.
that. If that was Scott Pilgrim, it wouldn't have the following that it
Okay,
did.
all right. And I trust Edgar
I
Wright,
love that
so.
movie, man. That movie
Yeah,
was
how many
great.
video game shirts have you seen? Like, I remember walking to a store and I saw just like the flat brown shirt with like a question mark block on it. I looked at it
Right.
like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I go to pick it up, and then the bottom half of the shirt, unfolds, and I'm looking at it, and it just says, "I'd hit that." And like, you just look at it for a second. Or I saw another shirt one time that just like simply had a roll of toilet paper on it. I'm like, that's kind of funny. What if I had on a shirt that was just a roll of toilet paper? And then that one unfolds, and it's like, that's how I roll. Like, you know what? These are fine by themselves.
Any shirt that has something that somebody should be saying as a mediocre joke is not a good shirt.
Yes.
The worst is the black one with the white letters. It's like, you can't sleep, clowns will eat me. Can't sleep, clowns will eat me. It's like,
Exactly.
shut up. That's
Or like it'll just have like this stupid, like, it looks like the worst tattoo art ever, and it'll just have like an old NES controller, like crazy perspective on it with like maybe like the controller doing some crazy design. And it says like old school.
Yeah.
I
that's
hate
so
that
stupid.
crap.
So how come Yoshi? The only thing he eats is the fish. Like everything else, he holds in his mouth or creates.
Yeah, he can make an egg out of a ghost,
But
but,
the
not
fish,
a fish.
the fish, he can't like control himself. Like he's got to eat the fish.
Yeah.
I always thought that was weird.
I
And
don't
how
know.
does the food actually turn into an egg?
Science.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He eats a lot of fiber.
What was
Okay.
my title that we came up with earlier, Tim? Something about. I don't know. Jokes.
It was like lead science officer or something.
Yeah, that's my title.
Yeah, that's
Associate
how
editor.
Kyle got hired.
Can't
Hey, Dan.
can't you melt that?
Oh,
Can't
probably
you melt
should do
that?
that? Yeah.
Dan, you should tell me the science of eggs.
Oh, I heard this
What?
egg story today.
Oh God, are we talking about when I tried to make?
Oh, I don't
know.
know.
Yeah,
I think I'm sure I told that.
heard
at
it
some
Let's hear
point.
this one again.
today. It was very exciting for me. I really enjoyed it.
Wait, I didn't actually know what this is. What?
The short version, I'm sure it's been said before, is
Legendary.
it's so stupid.
I mean, I heard it. I heard it at lunch today, and Dan wasn't even with us. at
Yeah,
lunch.
I'm a notorious idiot, especially when it comes to making food. And I was trying to eat healthier back in college, and I read that egg whites were healthy. And so I took like 3 eggs, and I cracked them. I poured the egg part down the sink because the shells were white. And I put 3 egg shells in a pan that I had going on the stove. And I was trying to like crush them up and stuff with my spatula until it looked edible. And then I like, ended up calling my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm trying to crush up these eggshells and like I heard they're healthy and it's not.
Did she just start silently sobbing on the other?
She was like, wait, you're doing what? And I was like,
Pump of a shotgun.
Ben looked genuinely concerned
Dan,
during
I
that
love-
whole story. He wasn't laughing or anything. He was just like looking at.
I come from a
Look at
long line
Dan.
of chicken farmers. Like I was raised raising chickens. So it's a bizarre
Yeah.
thing to hear about this.
turns out egg whites aren't the shells. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
We actually had chickens growing up with blue eggs.
I feel like we should make a short
green
film
eggs.
about that. Dan makes egg whites.
Yeah. They
Then
won't
the
look good.
reveal at the end will be that the shells are in the pan.
And that he has cancer.
Yeah.
To my credit, I didn't eat
Wait,
them.
he's a vehicle. I thought you guys said that they were added later.
Yeah, there's one level where it just spams vehicles
Dan,
on you.
I love how you had to qualify that. By the way, I didn't eat them.
Yeah, thanks to my mother telling me not to eat them. Otherwise, I would have just mashed them up until they looked scrambled or something. I don't know.
Take those out of your mouth, Daniel.
Oh gosh. Sorry, that's really funny. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not offending you by laughing.
Oh, I'm not offended at all. It's a story I've told a lot.
Dad, I don't get it because you're a huge Rocky fan.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the scene where he drinks the eggs. Like,
Yeah, but I didn't know
did you
those
connect
were-
those dots?
He was, as a kid, Dan was like, "Why is he throwing away the good part? What's going on here? He should. That's why he didn't beat Apollo."
I love the scene in the South Park where Randy is training to heckle his son, or heckle the other team, and they do the Rocky thing where he puts the eggs in the glass and he like sighs like he's getting ready to drink it, and then he just pours it into a pan and starts frying them.
You should free those Shy Guys.
Oh God! Oh, that was close.
That was intense.
Yeah, it
It
was.
reminded me of that part in Dead Space where the subway crashes and you're hanging upside down, and you have to defend yourself from the necromorphs.
It's exactly
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Those things better not come back if I do this. That is a noise.
Shy Guys are like Encino Man. You should free them, please.
Oh, Encino Man.
They have a sad fate. Look at them.
we do
The
a
penguins are innocent.
A
Just
replay
in
of watching
permanent
Encino Man.
stasis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Director or not director commentary. Try to get
Pauly
direct-
Shore and Brendan Fraser
Dream Team.
together at last. This is,
Does anyone else think that Brendan Fraser is actually like a pretty good actor, but he's
I don't
in
like
terrible,
him.
terrible movies?
I don't like that guy.
Hang on, we're in for a treat here.
Oh, is it time?
I think this is
Are we
it.
skiing?
The music.
Or is this?
Here it is.
Things are getting athletic
Oh
around
yes.
here.
Look, he puts on a nice little
And
snow
it's
hat.
appropriate, athletic, because, he's skiing.
You should hit something so we can see the wacky.
And this is isn't this the only time you're skiing in the game?
I think so.
That's
This
what I
was
love about
like-
this game. It just throws so much fun stuff
I
at
wonder if
you.
this is like, because that's a big thing for Nintendo now, is just doing like one thing and dropping it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wonder if this is the first time they really kind of embrace that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, like they do it all the time with like Galaxy and stuff like that.
And that's what I love about those games, and that's why I love this game.
This
This
scares
one,
me.
I remember having to do over and over again to get the red coins. It's really,
Yeah,
really tough.
yeah. I'm having like Donkey Kong minecart flashbacks.
Yeah.
Wow, my foot is completely asleep and it hurts like hell. This is horrible.
Ben Hanson
What do I
made
do
the
about
worst
this?
cringing face at me just
No,
now.
just because I realized I'd been zoning you out for a while.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. He's gonna hit
no.
something. Oh.
He's fine.
I like when he runs into
He's
something
whoa.
at the end.
That is a deep pit.
That is a Death Star pit.
All right. Oh, I gotta do that again. I do remember dying a lot of this part.
Yeah, it's surprisingly tough. I like those birds. Goofy they
They
look.
remind me of the albatrosses in Mario 2.
Have
Which is a great name that no one ever talks about.
Have any bands ever covered the music from here? So
If anybody would know, he's in this room.
yeah, that's why. Because I'm into like covers and like that kind of thing, but
like
the
bed
one
sheets.
ups and
I like those too, especially this time of year. Kind of looks like this outside right now, with Yoshi's Island. You're still cringing at me like that. Stop doing that, Ben.
Sorry.
That's what Ben does.
It's honestly the worst face.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You need to not
it a
do. No, it
grimace or a
honestly
grin?
makes me just
It's-
want to just stop talking and
Wait, why are you-
stare at you until you
Yeah.
stop making that
why
face.
It's rough.
why is he cringing?
And if he's cringing at something worse, or that he thinks I'm doing, your face is 10 times worse
Is he
than whatever I'm
cringing
doing.
Oh,
to say.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You should know I grimace because I love.
Is he
Well,
cringing? 'cause
you need
Dan's
to let
foot's
go of
all-
love.
God damn it!
You need to be all out of love.
How's your foot, Dan?
It's getting better.
You want me to massage it or something?
That's okay.
What's wrong with your foot?
It felt like super duper sleep and it was feeling really super
Oh no!
weird.
Can you go on?
I think so.
Can we
It's
still
doing
continue
okay.
the replay?
I think so. We're gonna be okay. This level is pretty tough though.
We got some music. You guys see?
Oh boy.
So Tim, do you know if anyone's ever done covered music from here?
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
You know if anyone's ever covered any of the music? from here?
Besides that piano guy that I
Yeah.
talked about at length,
Piano
not off the top of my head. Honestly, I have not experienced the amount of appreciation for Yoshi's Island outside of this office, like anything coming close to it. You just gonna make grunting sounds, Dan?
It's better than grimacing.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you.
So why
Alright.
was Ben grimacing?
I will look at the floor. So, Tim, do you consider this in the core Mario series? That's a great debate we had with Brian Vore. where he says it is not a real Mario game.
It's not.
Oh my god.
It's also probably among like the worst side scrolling. Like the bottom. Like okay, I don't think there's not a lot of bad side scrolling Mario games. Maybe say for like Super Mario Land 1 for Game Boy, pretty bad game.
Right.
I would
You
say
said
this
6
is
golden coins was better than this, which is silly.
Absolutely.
That is silly.
But
insane.
think about
Yeah.
this. We really have to weigh heavily in with we have to weigh nostalgia in with this because I think that I just played this game for the first time. What face did you just make, Dan?
Ben, I'm moving my foot because it's asleep, and Ben stomped on my foot because it's probably picking up on the mic.
Dan has this horrible trend of slamming his foot into the ground every time he tries to make any sort of valid point.
I don't think that's true.
It's true. It's really,
I'm
really
trying to
annoying.
picture myself doing that, being like, ah.
That's
and
exactly
I don't-
what you do.
So Dan, you played 6 golden coins just recently. Right?
Yeah, I actually just got 2 Wario's.
And what'd you think?
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's
okay,
good.
I just played this game about 3 years ago. I think there's something to be said for these good games that you experience like when you're younger. I mean, obviously it's nostalgia, but with Mario, there's something more significant about it because they're still great games, like mechanically, but once the retro goggles are gone, like
So
it's
you're
just-
saying 6 golden coins is better than?
yeah, but I think it has to
Yeah?
do with because I played it and it was like my first big Mario experiences.
Yeah, I think you have a forward love affair.
See,
With-
6
I
golden
agree.
coins was like I'm not entirely sure, but that was like I think that was like the first game I ever played, really like extensively.
Yeah,
Because like Game Boy was like my first system, you know.
yeah.
So I would obviously have a lot of nostalgia for that game, but I don't think that's a valid statement. I think this is much better than.
But
6
did you
golden
play
coins.
this when you were younger too?
Yeah, I played them both.
Yeah, I didn't play this when I was younger.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
How
At
do you
least I
frame
have
him
retro.
again?
I have retro
I'm trying to
goggles
remember what
for
you have to
both.
do with
is
him.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
okay.
And that I think Yoshi's Island's a much better.
Is
game.
there an item you can give him?
I hear that.
I don't know.
You should check your items right now.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to
Wait,
think of
don't you have like a huge list? Don't you can scroll through though? There's more than 3.
No.
Shoulder
Oh,
buttons?
Never mind.
Nope.
I made that up.
What was I gonna
Kyle.
say? I'm trying to think of a game, like a classic game that I went back to and just totally lived up to what everyone else says about it. I guess like I really like Beyond Good and Evil, but that was not nearly as.
Chrono Trigger?
Chrono
Chrono Trigger was very good.
But I still would say that like the amount of enthusiasm that surrounds that series, like it's an old RPG. Like I had a lot of fun with it. I played the DS one, but like it's just as far as like a lot of the fun for that game came from like replaying it right away. You know what I mean? And playing it just over, get all the endings and stuff. That's why a lot of people have fond memories for that stuff. And New Game Plus, I didn't want to replay that game right away. Did you replay it right away, Dan?
Oh, no.
I think that's where everyone's enthusiasm comes from, and we didn't experience like one of the core reasons why everyone loves Chrono Trigger.
I kind of get that. I've tried to play Final Fantasy VII a number of times because I didn't play when it came out.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't
yeah, that's a
imagine
good one.
playing that game now.
I've never been able to
I
finish
bought it
it.
for the PlayStation Network and put it on my PSP. I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this. I feel like if I want to write about games, I should have this under my belt. But
Yeah.
You know what? One retro game that probably survived the test
Yeah,
of time.
two-
I think it has to do with how unique it is. It was ActRaiser. I played ActRaiser a couple years ago for the first time. In one sitting, the game's only about 6 hours or so, and it's not linear, but you know where to go and what to do, and the platforming's
done the other one
perfect, and the
first.
pacing is awesome. ActRaiser is one of the best.
that was like one of the early Virtual Console titles.
It was, yeah.
Because that was a game I've never played. That a lot of love for. That I was like, yeah, I should probably check this
Yeah, I've
out.
never played it either.
Speaking of Virtual Console, one that surprised me that I had no idea, like I never hear anyone talk about it, is Donkey Kong on Game Boy. I got
Yeah.
that on 3DS. Brian Vore is. Just,
Oh yeah.
he
Yeah,
loves
great.
that game. And I got
Absolutely.
it, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played it. I think you and I were playing around the same
Yep,
time, Dan.
yep.
So what's
2
so great
weeks, I
about
think we
it?
had that.
Like what makes it
There's
different than other Donkey?
100
Just the standard
100
Donkey Kong?
levels.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
totally. It's not like the old Donkey Kong gameplay at all. It's
Okay, so
like this
I
weird
thought it was just
puzzle-
like a port of the the arcade.
No.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't.
That's what they play off of, and that's what's interesting about it, is because it's like the first 3 or 4 levels or whatever from the original one, and then you beat it, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna do that again, and then Donkey Kong's like, no, forget you, man. Like, I'm gonna keep doing this for 94 more level, or like,
Yep.
90 odd more levels, and you just keep doing it, and it takes all those mechanics that you learn from like the first 3 levels of Donkey Kong. And like what I always thought was interesting is when we were younger, we played the original Donkey Kong in arcade at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And like there's these really great mechanics, and you learn the language of the game, but there's only 3 levels, and you
Right.
feel like there's more to do. And the
Right.
Donkey Kong Game Boy just takes all that and expands it into this full game across all these different varieties of levels, and everything's perfect about it. Like,
Yeah.
and there's so many things going back and replaying that game. What's interesting
Sorry,
about
I
that
should
is like, I don't know if Dan, if you were surprised as I was, but like the triple jump.
Yes, and like the little the turn
handstand.
backflip thing.
Yeah.
That stuff's awesome.
And that stuff reappeared in later Mario games.
Yep. Mario
The fact
64.
that it's like $3 on 3DS Shop, like
Yeah.
you should really check it
Yeah.
out.
I think I might have to get it now because I have some money and I'm just sitting there.
You should. That would be a good investment, I'd say.
But Tim, to your earlier point about, nostalgia factoring into these games, I didn't own any Nintendo systems growing up.
Oh, God.
And so I played all these
You got it.
games side by side, really.
you
Like
did.
I started 6 Golden Coins probably within 6 months of playing this game for the first time. And this game is my favorite.
When
2D
was
Mario.
that?
This was like probably 3 years ago.
You know what? I think it just depends on playstyle. I think that's got to be a big part of it. I love how similar a lot of I don't know. It's really hard for me to say. I think for me, Mario's genius is in its simplicity in the gameplay.
Right.
And this adds aiming on the fly. Like it adds this layer of complexity. And it's not like I'm some idiot that can't handle it on the fly, but that's
You'd be
not why I
defensive,
want
you're
to
not.
play.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I am.
No.
But
no.
it's not why I want to play a Mario game. I like just simply all I can do is jump and run, and sometimes I'll get a power up. I don't want this other layer of complexity
It's
over
one
my Mario.
layer, and once you get used to that, I'd say it's completely natural.
Sure, but I don't like throwing shells.
It's
at
not what he
things.
wants, Ben.
Okay, so you're the type of guy that doesn't like sequels that kind of start layering in more stuff, even you like maybe the original Donkey Kong Country more than Donkey Kong
If
2.
it takes the core gameplay and
Yeah.
it makes it like Mega Man Slide, for example, or
Right.
charging his Buster, that's interesting to me because it takes how you've learned how to play the game, like the language of the game, and makes you better at it.
Oh.
It doesn't completely change the core of
Right.
it. And for some people like that freshness, and for me, it's just not as engaging.
So here's a question: would you prefer that this was just Super Mario World 2 and like a genuine World 2, where it's almost like Galaxy 1 to 2?
Absolutely, that was just what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You would have taken World 2 over
I
this
would take
unique game.
I would take World 2 or Mario 3, 2. Just take everything that's established, and just give me more of it.
Right.
And this can exist. That's fine. But the fact that it's Super Mario World 2 and then it's this, I guess I just don't feel like it's a genuine sequel.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say that it's not really part of the Mario canon, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
It definitely. I mean, there's a reason that Super Mario World 2 is really small in the box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I still love this game. I still absolutely enjoy this game. But I think that's fair to say that it's not.
Mario series
Really
is weird
Mario.
like that too. We were talking on a podcast we recorded earlier today about Super Mario 3D Land, about how Mario. Why did he go through that part? Anyway, that was strange. About how Super Mario Land, maybe Nintendo wanted to call Super Mario 3D Land Super Mario Land 3. Because the first, there was, Super
Right.
Mario Land, and then there's 6 golden coins, and then they did make Super Mario Land 3, but it was the first Wario Land.
Right.
And again, just like Yoshi's Island, it had that really small text on the box where it's yeah, this is Mario, but it's Wario. Hello, say hello to Wario. I feel have the same feelings, but I think Wario Land was a better game.
It's another game I played the hell out of.
The series is weird.
Oh, so we were talking about the Super FX chip
Oh, no.
earlier,
Oh,
and
no.
we were before we started, we couldn't remember what exactly the Super FX chip was in charge of. You know what I'm talking about, Dan?
Yeah.
Well, it's the
God.
the 3D blocks that fall forward.
Right.
I know, I was upset.
Oh my God, that part drove me nuts. Sorry.
But you know what I'm
Really,
talking
Dan?
about?
Yeah, I gotta go all the way back.
All right.
But you know what I'm talking about, Dan? The those 3D blocks that fall forward. I
Right.
think that's the only thing the Super FX chip is really dealing
But
with.
they did some stuff like that in Mario World. They had stuff coming down, and they had Bowser's ship flying
Three-dimensional
at
like
you.
that, though?
Maybe not as three-dimensional.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't arguing.
Alive.
this.
The fight with the was it the Raven
Genuinely
that
asking.
is
Yeah, that's World
rotates.
5.
That's
Yeah, I
this,
think-
Yeah.
But that's more like the scaling and the zooming in and out. That's not FX stuff.
You're talking about stuff coming at the camera.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with the FX chip. I don't think that stuff was there from the beginning. That was one of the selling points of the Super Nintendo.
I think the way that this ghost thing is warping and the shading and everything. I think that graphically this game couldn't have existed with the same technology that they used to make the original Mario World. Have you guys already touched on the story behind the art style of this game?
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
And how Miyamoto, the whole game was made and it looked just like Mario World, which I probably would have liked. And then they're like, we need to make something that it takes advantage of the FX chip, and that's how it got this kind of crayon pastel colored.
Do you like the looks of this? 'Cause that's
it's-
one of the main things to me is how gorgeous this game is.
The game is gorgeous, but I thought that the pure, a living color book. I guess okay. Super Mario World was like the closest to being like a living cartoon at the time, or like an interactive cartoon, like the huge bullet bills, and everything was just so vibrant and clean and crisp. And this game has that kind of like living coloring book style, but I didn't like the pastels and the kind of rough lines and stuff as much as Mario World. It still is very pretty though.
Oh boy, I'm
Do you
having
think Mario
a heart
World
attack.
holds up better visually than this game?
In my opinion, I've always just liked the art style better in Mario World.
God.
I feel like Mario World is the purest form of what Mario is visually and gameplay wise. 2D Mario, like it is it.
So did you feel like Super Mario 3D Land was a weird sequel in a way to 3 for you then? If you're saying how you would prefer the sequel to 3?
No, I just think it's just like the Super Mario 3D Land is like the perfect merging of Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario or New Super Mario Brothers DS.
Yeah.
I think 3D Land kind of stands pretty well on its own as there's a good kind of separate Mario title.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And it's a great game. I love it. We all of us played it, right? Everyone in this room. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm right here.
I'm working on the bonus levels now.
Oh, okay, yeah. I plan on getting to those.
Yeah, I'm almost done with the core game.
Oh my god, I am just so nervous here. I just want to see it.
How far along are you?
This is World 5, but man, it's been a while since there's been a checkpoint here.
Out of 8.
Oh my god, screw you!
So Tim,
Out of
have
6,
you?
Oh my god.
Have you beaten this game?
Oh yeah,
Okay. All right. Yeah.
it took a while. I
I was
Put
put
it
the
down a
end
few
boss,
times.
like the end boss of this game is
That's-
like when I was a kid, I would
yeah.
play it
That's
over
Baby
and
Bowser in the
over and
background.
over.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
The music and it just blew my mind like that
It's so
perspective.
great. That's what I was gonna say. Like maybe you just haven't beaten it. Maybe you just didn't see that end boss, and that's why you don't love it quite as much as we do.
I got it, but also if I'd experienced that boss when I was younger too,
Yeah.
that would have been just. I mean, the scale of that boss is really kind of. There's nothing that matches that around this time, really. I mean, in a platformer anyway, it's hard to match that.
You gonna be okay, Dan?
Yeah, man, I was just good to see that middle ring.
These things are really gross to me. It's just like a pile of pus with air sticking out of
gross.
it.
It's like a little
mold.
heart.
It's like a little pile of mold.
Reminds me of something like Ren would have coughed up in Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, I can
Is
see
this
that.
this has the guy that with the heart? Is that what it is?
Yes,
You
this
gotta-
guy is,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how this
Is he the one that
works.
pushes you?
Well, you gotta throw eggs
so.
and
Yeah, he
like you
pushes
gotta
you
create.
towards the edge,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, this is
game
really
does have
cool.
incredible bosses.
Yeah.
I will give it that. It took everything that was interesting about any of like the Mario World bosses and just kind of like even.
Well, it's also cool just because it's. I mean, just the fact that it's the enemies in the level. I mean, that's just awesome.
Right,
You
right.
know. I mean.
Oh yeah, and it's just what the hell is the wizard's name?
Kamek.
Kamek, yeah.
What was it? What did you call? I always said Lakitu.
I say Lakitu.
Lakitu.
I always said
Yeah.
Lakitu when I was. I don't know.
Oh.
I wonder if there's a right way.
All right.
I was singing the wrong tune.
Mario World's victory music, the original way, hands down better. The
Congratulations, Dan. You beat that level.
I did.
You look happy
job.
and fulfilled.
That scared me. Yeah,
It gets easier too.
I'm trying to remember if it does get way
it does
harder.
get easier. Is this the one with the bombs dropping?
I don't know.
Oh, this looks nice.
You can't
this
listen
is
to the
really
song and not be in a better mood. If
Oh,
you're
I know, man. That's why it's on my iPod.
Do you work out to this song, Tim?
I generally, whenever I hear
out
this
for that
song,
bird
I
band.
can't help but put my hands on my knees
Yeah.
and then kind of move them back and forth while I swap my hands.
Right.
If you understand the visual there,
Dude, love.
Dude, love. I think he created that move. Yeah.
Just give wings
Speaking
to
of
passers
hippies,
by.
that Shy Guy was a regular flower child.
Oh, did you guys do the fluffy episodes, the fluffy levels already?
Touch Fuzzy, Get Dizzy?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Oh god.
good times, right, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy, right? They also changed the look of those in the GBA version. I'm wondering if
Really?
you noticed that as well. Yeah.
I didn't
I don't
notice.
remember that.
Look out for that flower.
Damn it.
I'm helping Dan by pointing out the mistakes he's made.
If you were Kratos, you could put your chains of chaos into those birds and fly across the stage.
That'd be awesome.
Yoshi with
Those stars are so dumb.
They're awesome.
no,
They're little star
they're
snakes.
not.
You love Ristar, which is a star with sneakers. How
Yup.
is that any
Yup.
different? And it's the main character, not
right.
a thing that shows up every once in a while.
Let me tell you
Yeah,
why.
let's hear why Ristar is different than these sneaker-wearing stars. Go.
Ristar is not in the Mario universe. He's his own thing.
Are you saying
He doesn't
he's-
belong in the Mario universe. Stupid stars with sneakers don't belong in the Mario universe. They're stupid in the context of the Mario universe. When he's the main character and it's a whole standalone thing that doesn't affect anything.
What about kind of like intelligent stars with sneakers? Like they have glasses or something. Is that okay?
I'm kind of anti-glasses.
Now, what about Mario Party 3, where there's
I'm
the
wearing
giant
glasses, right?
star
Sorry.
with the mustache?
What's
Does he
that,
belong?
Ben?
Mario Party 3, where there's a giant star with the mustache. Does that belong
I
in the
like
Mario universe?
Did you just make a Mario Party 3
Yeah,
reference?
that's in the core Mario series.
you
right?
actually
I'm
just-
not well acquainted with the series.
I don't understand the question, and I refuse to respond.
Tim, can you just make us a
Lucille?
list of things that don't belong in the Mario universe right now? Just a whole.
A Yoshi helicopter, for one.
Okay.
Yoshi should not
Airplane.
have the ability to
I'm
transform into
thinking
vehicles.
broader.
What's that?
Thinking broader.
Broader?
Yeah, of things that don't belong in the Mario universe. It's
Sonic?
really expansive.
Sonic, yeah.
I don't know, like
I'd argue Tim's pessimism
Baseball
doesn't belong in the
bats.
Mario
Yeah.
universe, actually. Just
Well-
his negative attitude overall.
You know,
Shin
I'd say that
guards.
my opinion may appear negative to someone who has retro goggles on for this game, and I understand.
3 years ago?
Sorry, Ben, you make
I
an
was a
argument
different
for
man
every
3
game
years
ever. Have you
ago.
ever heard Ben Hanson talk ill on any game ever?
Nah.
I like to talk about positive things. I hate games.
Well, let's talk about a game you don't like right now, just to get it done. There's gotta
Not
be a
crazy
game.
about God of War.
Wow.
All right.
You just turned into Wario? Dan just turned into Wario. What the hell how'd you do that? Where'd you get that hat? What happened to your facial hair?
How'd you
It
put
got
on
all
all that
twisted. It
weight?
looks like burnt caterpillars.
Smells like garlic in here now.
Burnt caterpillars. All right.
Rides his motorcycle through the door. Never be
Dan,
seen again.
Burnt caterpillars.
Dude, hold it in. That smells.
All right, there we go.
Tim, what's a big game series that you don't like?
I know mine.
I didn't like
Madden.
Assassin's Creed 1, but I haven't really revisited the
But
series
you
yet.
like other Assassin's Creed.
It's not in my wheelhouse yet.
All
Well,
right.
I'm trying to think of games that I haven't liked recently. Sonic series? 3D?
You can't say that. Your love for the first 3 or 4.
4.
There we go.
And the handheld titles.
Okay, there we go. Kind of it overwhelms all of your hatred for the other titles, I'd argue.
Okay. That's fair.
Would you not agree?
I-
It like, have you reached on the scales of your Mario or your Sonic love? Have they evened out at this point? Do you still love the idea of Sonic?
Honestly, like, Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles are the defining games in the series, and they've just struggled to recapture any enthusiasm on my part to, they haven't been able to.
What would you say is objectively better, like Sonic or like Super Mario World?
Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Sorry.
No,
Like,
I got an
I'm really glad you said that.
I got an argument with someone about that. And
Well-
he was like, "No, you're just nostalgic for Mario." I'm like, "No, I think
no, they're
Mario's a
nostalgic
better
for
game."
Sonic.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
way
exactly.
better.
Okay, I just want some confirmation on that.
But I'd say like some of the platforming in Sonic is like if Mario is on its own level with platforming, like it is every game is like the best platformer. I would say that this game is better than Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like all together. Like it is.
This game?
But I will argue against this game in the context of Mario, in the same way that I argue against like certain Zelda games, like Spirit Tracks. Like it's
Yeah.
not a bad game. It's not.
But
But
it's not a
compared to
good
the rest
Zelda
of the Zeldas, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the context. Maybe I should have, like
No, I think that's pretty universal. I think Spirit Tracks is kind of considered the worst of the best, so to speak.
the Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Although Dan would say it's Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening is awesome.
It's good.
It's good.
My series, actually, Tim kind of took it, is Assassin's Creed. I did not like the first one at all. I did.
That said, you played the hell out of number 2.
2, I did play a lot of. I don't know what it was about that one that made me like it a lot. And I went
What's
into
a better
Brotherhood, and I was
game?
like, you know what? I like 2 a lot, and this is the sequel to 2. Yeah, this should be pretty good. And I couldn't play more than 3 hours of it. I
Really,
just got bored
I
to tears.
liked Brotherhood more than 2.
Yeah, I need
Because
to.
it was now I maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, but it wasn't 2 like a bunch of different cities, and then Brotherhood was more one centralized.
2 was one big city, wasn't it?
I feel like I was traveling.
Or you
between
can take a
cities
horse
more.
between cities.
Yeah,
and stuff,
see, I didn't.
yeah.
I like being in just like stuck in one city. I'm like a big fan of video games in general, like kind of sticking to one location in a weird way. Like I like the original Metal Gear. You're at in one. You're in that one. Where are you? Shadow Moses. Okay.
Yeah.
I just took some
Okay,
time the other day to think about how weird that name is.
Zanzibar
Shadow
Moses.
Moses.
Because I did not like Metal Gear Solid 4. I love Metal Gear Solid, but
didn't like
4
4?
I didn't
Oh.
like because you were globe hopping. Like
Right,
you
yeah.
never got a chance to kind of fall in love with this area and learn it and kind of feel stuck there. Like I loved feeling stuck at Shadow Moses. And I
Yeah,
love
you know
feeling
what? 3
stuck.
didn't have a lot of that feeling
Yeah,
either.
I love
That's
feeling
interesting.
stuck at and 2 you're on the rig.
Wow,
I
you know
love
what?
being stuck there. You know.
I never thought about that. Like thinking about Symphony of the Night and the original Resident Evil, just like
one place.
yeah,
the fact that you could probably sit down and I could probably get pretty close to writing down the entire blueprints for the Raccoon City Mansion.
Like an Arkham City and Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Like you get a
Right.
chance to
Yeah.
love those cities, you know. I always appreciate that. You
Well, it's
know?
interesting. How does that factor into your platformer love? Because Mario
Oh,
Galaxy,
well,
I was
not
just talking to
really.
Dan. How
Yeah.
it's all just kind of
It's
this
kind
blur.
of it's kind of different for
Okay.
platformers because
Even
they're
like-
broken into levels
Sure.
anyway. There's not a story. You're not really getting emotionally attached to Mario, but Snake, you're kind of you're sort of feeling
Right.
the way he's feeling, like he's stuck in this place that he's got to finish his mission and he doesn't know who to trust.
Right.
Metal Gear 4, I was jumping all over the world and I
Yeah.
knew who to
And
trust and I
not
was
all
yeah.
over the world, to be fair. Were there
Yeah.
5 acts in that game? Like it's
riding
not
on the
too
back of
crazy.
motorcycles and
Yeah, but
I would say Prague is the location I connected to the most in Metal Gear Solid 4. Did you?
Is that where you're sneaking around? In
That's
Act
Act 3.
That
yeah.
drove me nuts.
I love Act 3.
I
I'm a
hated
huge
that.
stealth fan. So when
See,
that
I'm
came
terrible
up, it's
at
like
stealth.
finally I get a chance to. And the guy's whistling the theme that Sonny sings the entire game. Like I love that act so much.
That's maybe my least favorite area in any Metal Gear Solid game.
Well,
You know what? Speaking of how Galaxy is so different fundamentally from like the
ground pound?
the original like 64 and Sunshine
Jump underneath
like
it?
formula.
I think you throw the egg at it.
We were talking in our podcast earlier today that I mentioned,
I think
and
you had it right the first time.
we were talking
hang on,
about
Kyle.
I'm doing it again.
It always just cracks
I'm
me
doing
up.
it
Like
again.
people have separate conversations, but it's all being picked up on the same mics and the same audio line.
I'm Tim. I'm ignoring you again. I'm sorry.
I don't know when to stop talking.
Tim, I'm making eye contact with you. I care.
I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad. I'm sorry, Tim.
We can talk about this after the replay, Kyle.
I'm sorry. Continue.
So
Dan, if you could.
what I'm,
What's
so
your
what I'm
idea
thinking
here?
is like, okay, someone mentioned that how maybe like Nintendo made Super Mario 3D Land a little bit easier because they looked at Galaxy and looked at one of the defining traits of it. It's like it's a little bit tougher,
Right.
and as all those games kind of have been at parts. And what if Nintendo changed the core formula of the Galaxy games, and we didn't get that Mario 64 Sunshine Galaxy formula anymore, and they just redesigned everything, and we never saw that again? That terrifies me. I don't want them to ever stop making those kinds of 3D Mario games. Like, what if they try to change it?
They do
Well,
a pretty good job at this point of catering to the hardcore audience. Like even with Mario 3D Land, like once you beat it, you unlock a whole new game of special stages, which are really, really tough. I think they understand that there's always going to be those hardcore fans, and I don't think you have reason to worry too much just because they put in like the skip a level option, you know?
But at the same time, like, I love Mario Galaxy because you go back to these same worlds, but it's kind of, you go back for like all these different stars and you do these different tasks, but you know, it's kind of linear in the way that you're getting different bites of tiny little planets in one overall galaxy.
Right.
But I also miss Sunshine in 64, where it's just one big world where you go and explore all these different areas within the world.
Oh my
Do you know
god!
what I'm saying?
I can't do
I
anything
hear you.
about this.
I'm so distracted by Dan just breathing.
Oh,
this
yeah.
out.
Sorry.
That was intense. It was.
So did you like the hub then in Galaxy 1? Was that a little bit of that for you?
It's just like the core way that the galaxies are divided, and it's like all these little planets.
Right.
I like that, but I also liked wandering around like the big kind of sprawling landscapes of 64 and Sunshine. And I
Yeah.
want both. If maybe they can make a 3D game where they deliver both, and some are big worlds that you explore, and some are more of like that kind of
Right.
streamlined.
I mean, they're relatively big worlds in Galaxy, though. I feel like they do a pretty good job of giving you a taste of that.
yeah, that's
Definitely
probably
the
true.
Small planetoids, then like the B level and stuff like that, where you have
Yeah.
a lot of room to explore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What do you think about the idea of like taking a Nintendo character and like sort of like taking Waluigi or something and giving him the like open world exploration,
Yes.
platforming games?
Yes.
Not even Waluigi necessarily. I'm saying just like Mario continues on like the Galaxy track, and then another Nintendo character takes like the Mario 64 kind of standard of platform design.
Yeah, no, I'd be interested in
Be happy
that,
with
as long as it was someone I could get attached to,
Yeah.
like Mario. Like if they made a Yoshi spin-off, like just how
Right.
like Yoshi's doing his own thing in this and it's a different gameplay mechanic. If they made a game about Yoshi, I would probably try that out.
Open world Yoshi game.
Yeah. You know, do different things with the kind of eggs that he could like make it kind of maybe Metroid-y or something, and like you'd eat different fruit or something and it would unlock a different part of the world, or and maybe
throw
explore
Samus.
more of like how cool was it in Wario World when you realized that Yoshi, whether he ate a blue turtle shell, red, or yellow, that he had different abilities. That was really interesting.
Remember Wario World?
Yeah, you actually said Wario World there, and I was
Yeah,
reminded
that's
of that
what I
game.
mean.
I never played that one. I remember it didn't
Neither.
review
The
too
GameCube
well.
one, right?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
I played a little bit. It was like It's kind of like an overhead perspective, sort of, right?
Not quite. It was more. Well,
They
it was kind of angled down.
Shake It. Was it Shake It Up?
Shake It was awesome.
Shake It
Wario
was on the
Shake It.
Wii, yeah.
Yeah,
I love
it's
that
great.
So like I love the animation in that game. I want to see like a Castlevania with that level of animation, like the Wario or the Rayman. I want to see a Castlevania, 2D Castlevania, Metroidvania, whatever, with that level of animation. Like I was
We're close with Blood Rain, I feel like.
Oh yeah, like that's but that's got a lot of focus on action, right?
Right,
I
yeah.
want something that's focused on like exploration, like a Shadow Complex with 2D animation.
Or how about like Ghost Trick levels of like
yeah.
animation?
Now doesn't Ghost Trick have 3D models? Those are 3D models, aren't they?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure they're 3D models. But they look 2D, and that's why they look so smooth, is
Right.
because they're animating 3D models, but the cell shading is so good. That's a good game. I like that game a lot.
Even just a cell shaded Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Kyle, I think we have the exact same taste in video games. That's
Yeah.
something I haven't brought up to you before.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really bizarre. We
Oh.
both love simple platformers. We both love Shadow of the Colossus, Eco,
Yep.
Yoshi's Island.
Do you like Halo?
Halo multiplayer, which you also
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yeah. Although I only really got into Halo 1's multiplayer. I'm a split screen junkie, so.
Oh god, what am I doing here? Okay.
So yeah, I guess we are kind of, because I'm not a
Split-screen
big
junkie was
first-person
was a
shooter guy, but I
Foreigner song,
will
right?
get into some freaking Halo.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
I said I'm not a big first-person shooter guy.
Yeah.
Well, go
What
ahead and
did you
agree
say?
with me, and everyone can rewind it. And
Wanna help me murder my wife? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But no, I'm not like a huge first-person shooter fan, but I get into the Halos a lot though. I really like the Halos.
Yeah, I am tempted to get Anniversary, but I'm still confused.
I don't want it. The maps are all the multiplayer is like you can download classic maps for re.
Yeah, that's really weird.
That's all
to
it
me.
is.
Right, but can't you set up a custom game and essentially recreate
Yeah, but
Halo
it's-
1?
Well, I mean, you're not gonna have like indestructible warthogs and the pistol
Whoa.
and stuff.
Right, right.
Nice work.
I think I might buy the maps though.
Yeah.
I still like Reach a lot, so I would like to have those maps, but I'm not gonna buy I'm not like the single player of Halo 1. I don't really feel the need to revisit.
No, I don't feel that either.
Oh, God.
I do want to check out the
What?
maps that Gearbox added for the PC version. I guess they included some of those. One's called like Timberland and stuff like that. I'm really curious what those guys did with the Halo for PC.
This is another nerve-wracking level. These are getting pretty tough.
I can tell from the amount you're breathing into the microphone.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
really must be stressed out right now.
Yoshi really can't sit still. Look at him. He's
Life
Oh,
makes situation.
Oh sh. Well, what do we do here? Oh, there you go. Look at that.
It's his own undoing.
So Tim, do you think I should be more critical with video games?
No, I'm just poking fun. Like you're a very positive person
You
overall.
enjoy them.
And it
I
makes
think we
me.
just go in the vault every once in a while and I say, "Oh, this game's great. This game's great." Even like,
Well, they're
this-
always the most
what am I-
obscure games.
yeah, like one you freaked out about was the Wizard of Oz RPG for the DS.
I didn't
Beyond the
freak
Elevator
out.
Road.
I was
no,
maybe
you started
surprised.
throwing stuff.
I threatened to quit.
Started pulling stuff out of the shelves and just throwing it at him.
I did. Yeah, I did hold you at gunpoint for a while and held you hostage in the vault.
I mean, it was damn it, I couldn't come up with the name of some accessory, some gun accessory.
Gun
fast
con?
enough. It was a
Gun
gun con, so it's cool.
Oh, gun gun.
Yo, gun con.
But I do feel I fall into that trap of like if I played a game for a while and was really impressed by it, I will be like, "Oh, that game's awesome. That game's great."
Even though I
Everyone's
only
like,
played 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Just like every Zelda game ever made.
You see, like, where I feel like when you ask me, like, what series I'm not into,
Right.
and the fact that I've only played Assassin's Creed 1, like, when do you write off a series? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I didn't like Assassin's Creed 1, and so, and the series have just been, they've been just pumping out sequels, and that turns me off to it. Like, I like the first Mega Man EXE, for example, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, like, by the time I'm done with the first one, like, or halfway through it, there's 3 more sequels out. And
Yeah. Did you see that news today about how Square was saying they need to pump out the Final Fantasies more often? Like they want to get a yearly or bi-yearly cycle. Does
yeah.
that worry you?
Yeah.
Do you like Final Fantasy a lot?
I love Final Fantasy. I mean, they're great games, but not. I like looking forward to them as much as I like playing them.
I love Zelda, and like having like a full 3D Zelda every 5 years right now. I think Twilight Princess came out 5 years ago. Is that correct?
06.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like if they were doing like full Zeldas even if they were really good, I mean, you just kind of get. Like, it was so exciting to put Skyward Sword in the system for me. Like, just
Yeah,
like when you hear the menu music pop, I'm like, yeah, it's Zelda time.
That's how I feel about like Metal Gear 2. You know, it's always
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 years in between entries where it's like, you know, I used to like Call of Duty a lot, and like I still play it, but it's just like, it's November.
Yeah, so time to play through that game.
Yeah.
But Zelda's like
Call of Duty o'clock.
Eh.
Call it Denver.
Even though,
Sorry,
I feel
everyone.
like with Spirit
okay.
Tracks, it came out. No one, quality of the game aside, I think it's a good game, like Tim said. But
Yeah.
even like in the lead up to that game, people weren't excited. It's like Phantom Hourglass. A lot of people still didn't get the chance to play that one. They just feel like Zelda's piling up.
Did anyone
Yeah.
beat Spirit Tracks? You guys beat
Tim
Spirit
did.
Tracks?
Oh, absolutely.
That end boss, man, right?
That
Yeah.
sucked. That is the
Wow, like-
worst. That is one of the worst Zelda boss fights of all time.
What is he like?
It's
So-
basically, it turns into Pac-Man.
First,
right?
you're on
remember.
you're on a train, and you have to catch up to this
Wait,
this
what's
other
Link
train.
doing on a train?
Oh, come on, get real,
Oh boy.
And basically, what you have to do is like it's kind of this gain ground
this is
battle
like-
of inches type thing, and you have to like control Zelda with the well, you control everyone with by drawing a path, and
Right.
like it's just like Link moves a few feet, Zelda moves a few feet, and if you get hit, you got knocked back to like the back of the train. You're just trying to get to the head of the train to start this fight, and once you get to the head of the train, you get to the bad guy. And it's this fight where like for the first time in the game, you have to do that classic Zelda thing where you knock back fireballs.
Right.
But swiping with the touch screen to attack is the least precise thing in that game. And it's nothing that you've done the entire game. You know how Zelda games are always great about taking the mechanics that you learned early on and applying them to these boss fights? Not one that you had to use in that game, and so it was sloppy and messy and unsatisfying.
Yeah, it hurt.
It did.
Sounds
hurt
like
my
a cool idea
feelings.
though, working your way to the front of a train.
Yeah,
Reminds me of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
I agree.
You know, I do like the idea of Link on a train. Like, I like the idea of like seeing kind of more technology in a Zelda.
Are you saying you want to see Link on a plane?
I'd be. Well, I got a flying
God.
bird, so that's pretty close. But no, I'm saying I like the idea of Link kind of being further away from like that almost like medieval sort of era.
Would you
of, like,
accept a sci-fi Zelda?
Laser gun, I was
yeah.
just gonna say.
Yeah, if Nintendo was behind, well, they can do what they want. They know what they're doing.
Sometimes.
Oh, when it
Zelda.
They're
other
not in
Link.
it infallible.
I would totally be. I mean, I trust them to like deliver something cool. You know, if they think it's a good idea and they can implement the gameplay mechanics well, like I'm there. Yeah, sure. I will test your experiment.
So you seem to love Nintendo so much. Is there anything that worries you about Nintendo's direction right now?
Pretty loaded question, Ben.
Sorry.
I don't know. I feel like with the Wii U, like maybe they're kind of getting away from casual a little bit. Like you're doing less arm movement, you know.
Well, in theory.
So we'll see. Yeah, you might not
Wiimotes are
be.
starting
Who
to be in full
knows?
effect.
I don't know, man. Like, with it always just like the Wii and like the GameCube and the Wii U, they just always become my Nintendo players. Like they just play my Nintendo games. Like I don't ever play anything else on them. You know?
Like the Wii U is only sort of like the technology is only sort of interesting now. Is it going to get more interesting as we learn more about it? Like that's what concerns me.
Yeah. Will there be like Skyward Sword, which is kind of what I haven't played it all the way through, but I mean like Phil kind of was referring to it as like actually using the technology appropriately. Like is the Wii U going to come out
Yeah.
and then 5 years later we're finally going to get a game that uses it well? You know?
Right.
Right. I kind of felt the same way with the DS. Like when the DS first came out, like everyone was just saying, like, give developers time. They'll really
Yeah.
crack this system.
Yeah.
They'll figure out cool stuff to do with it. And there were a couple, like, novel, unique experiences. We never felt like, oh, now these guys get the DS. Like, this is exactly what it was meant for.
Yeah.
Rub rabbits.
Yeah. Rub rabbits.
XXXY.
I was talking about that game the other day.
So speaking of the Wii U, like, have you guys ever thought about when would you have ended
This
up
looks
buying?
awesome.
When would you guys have purchased your Wii if it didn't launch with Twilight Princess?
Not to interrupt real quick, but I think Kyle, this is the type of stuff you're talking about, the 3D.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
for sure.
That's the Super FX chip right there.
Yeah, I think
That's
Tim-
why this game isn't on the Virtual Console.
I
that
purchased
thing.
mine a year ago, actually.
Your Wii.
Oh, really?
It was just like the stack of great platformers just got too big, and I just knew I was missing out. Like I
Yeah.
played Galaxy at a friend's place, but it's like that's not enough. I need to own these things.
Well, then how about the other guys? Like, when would you have bought your Wii if not for Twilight Princess?
I got mine a couple weeks before release.
I would have. It was. I bought it on day one. I would probably bought it on day one regardless.
But Dan, if you got it before release for some special circumstances, when would you have gotten it?
if I
You would have gotten it 2 weeks later with Zelda, right?
so just like as a consumer, like when I would have bought it.
Yeah, if not for Zelda, like what would have been the catalyst? You know what
Oh
I mean?
God.
I would have bought it.
I probably still would have bought it. I'm a sucker for game launches. Even little stuff like WarioWare and stuff.
Yeah.
I would have wanted the novelty, like Wii Sports even. I mean, we laugh at it now, or a lot of people do because it's super casual or whatever. But like, it was a lot of fun. Tennis
it
and
is
bowling
fun.
is awesome. I played a ton of bowling on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everyone played a lot of Wii Bowling that first day. We bowling.
Oh, I
No
played
G.
bowling for months.
This is one of my favorite boss fights of all
It's
time.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good boss fight.
This
Hit
is,
him in the crotch with
yeah,
that.
It's nice
This is
foreshadowing
probably-
the galaxy too, I feel like.
Now,
Oh,
Ben,
yeah.
you're a guy that has some problems with like kind of getting sick
Yeah,
from
this is
games.
kinda
Does this do
disorienting.
anything to you when
This
when you're
one,
not playing it anyway?
It's not that bad right now.
You know what? I'm actually kind of finding it disorienting because it's stretched a little, right? We're on a widescreen television.
Right.
So that's actually kind of disorienting me a little bit.
But
But
Tim,
Galaxy
what's-
never disorients me. I never had a problem with that.
It's mainly just first-person movement.
Okay.
And just the twisting of the camera.
No.
Like this stuff, it's not fun. But even like Psychonauts. Did you guys play Psychonauts?
Yeah, I love Psychonauts.
Yeah, that's another game we have in common. We're
Yes.
Wilson Schaefer fans.
Yeah, because I was
But-
talking about my autographed copy of Psychonauts.
That's right. But in the Milkman level, where the street just completely winds and you have to run down it.
Yeah.
Every time I had to stop playing there. 'Cause it made me
Really?
too nauseous.
Did
Yeah.
you finish it?
No.
Oh, wow.
I only got
Now,
that far.
question
Yeah,
for
finish
you
it.
about your motion sickness with games. Is it the head bob? Like, can you play Oblivion and games like Halo, which are a little more fluid? There's not as much emphasis on head bob.
Right. The head bobbing definitely kills me. I'm trying to remember what game I started. Dead Island. There's so much head movement and camera movement in
Yeah.
that one. And even Skyrim, like when you're going up steps, it is jerky as hell.
Well, do you move out? Do you pan out into third person?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
use third person quite a bit.
Also, third person in Skyrim. Not that people are watching this replay for Skyrim tips, but it helps with sneaking a lot. You can see
really?
line of sight and stuff.
I
like
always
that.
I just double tap both sticks for the sneaking mode.
Yeah, that's good.
Shifting into overdrive.
You guys ever play? You played? Did you play Bit Trip Runner?
Yeah.
That game made my eyes hurt.
Yeah.
Like
Can't
really,
blink.
like it was.
Did you play frequency or amplitude back
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
Okay. Not so much
That's-
with those though.
What was that?
Not so much with those. That
No,
make
I
your
didn't
eyes
have too much.
bleed.
I didn't get to the crazy hard levels, but
Okay.
man, Bit Trip Runner, I've never had such eye strain from a video game. Like, because like you said, you just can't blink. You
Right.
don't blink
Right.
when you're playing Bit
Right.
Trip Runner.
I would get that with Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah, I was gonna say
All right. I think we're gonna go ahead and
Guitar
wrap it
Hero
up here.
also.
I'd say let's knock out the first level here.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't
Nothing
talked
better
about
than
me.
a-
We haven't talked about me replacing Dan and replay.
Yeah, I hear you're getting some emails.
Yeah,
from the
everyone-
Facebook group.
Everyone thinks that I'm replacing you, and just for the record, I just want to state that, yeah, that's been my plan all along.
Right.
So I heard I had my ear up against Reiner's door. He's having a closed
Yeah.
door meeting with you.
That was part of my interview. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to work here. This seems really cool. This guy, Dan, I can replace him on replay, right? They're like, yeah, we don't need him.
I saw Kyle the other day at his desk actually taking a Sharpie and writing Skinnerd on his shirt. I didn't
Yeah.
know what he was getting at with that, but
It was
What you were
weird.
doing?
He also wrote Skinnerd on his flesh with a razor in the font of Slayer, which is a weird choice, I feel like.
It
he wrote it backwards on his
hilarious to
forehead
me.
so you can see it in the mirror.
Yes,
But it was upside down. And Charles Manson.
And
Charles Mansion.
Welcome to Charles's Mansion.
Yeah, that would be an awesome video game, just Charles Mansion, and it's just like a puzzle game or
This is
something.
like Eternal Darkness.
Have
just
fun in my
crazy
mansion.
crap.
Eternal
Needs to be, I want it to be
Darkness.
really lighthearted though. Like you just go into this guy's house and you have to solve puzzles.
Mario.
Welcome to Charles Mansion. If you want to get
Manson.
if you want to get my gold, you got to solve all my puzzles. That's how I imagine Charles Mansion
Yeah,
talks.
that's exactly how he speaks.
It could just be the whole character of Charles could be based off that video clip of Charles Manson in court where he's just
Oh,
like
it's great.
freaking out and just
Yeah.
make weird faces and
I don't,
Yeah.
guys.
Seems
Why
like a
did we
Mario
got into
character.
game criticism? Why didn't we get into development? What were we thinking?
I don't think I'd like it as much as this. I like this a lot more.
these guys are better at being creative than I am.
Yeah, we couldn't do this.
Watch out for the Bow Wows.
Damn it!
I don't know. I designed Air Force Gator, and I think that'll be a great game.
Air Force Gator. I don't know about Air Force Gator.
It's a blog post I did. It's that I spent pretty much a whole day on. I think.
Wait, how are you hired without knowing about Air Force Gator?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Huh.
Kyle. I don't
Was
know you.
I'm learning things. I learned about the eggshell story this afternoon. I feel like that's an important.
Yeah,
element of
you were
working here for me.
furiously taking down notes that entire time.
Yeah.
Now, and if I understand correctly, he cracked the eggs first before he called his mother, right?
Because since
Whoa.
Kyle's trying to become Dan, he then is going to try it for himself later on.
You got a lot of stupid to live up to.
All right.
This level looks like brownies and it's making me very hungry.
I
What
also
are you gonna
heard
say
that-
to your son when you?
Dan, I also heard that you didn't have ketchup for like a large portion of your life,
Yeah.
which
You
I
only
find
ate
I find
ketchup.
incredibly confusing because kids love ketchup.
Yeah, I was a dumb kid.
Surprise.
The dumbest kid in the gifted program since second grade.
Yeah, Dan tries to play up his dumb side, but he was skipping grades. He
That's,
did really well in high
actually,
school.
Sounds like an album title for some band. What'd you say? The dumbest kid in
Dumbest kid in
advanced class or something.
in gifted school. Yeah.
The dumbest kid in gifted school. That'd be a good. That's a band right there.
That's sort of short of a short title by most band standards today.
They did pull my parents into the principal's office in 2nd grade to tell them that I was borderline genius. That was
Exactly.
their quote.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they had to ship me off to a different school every Monday so I could go to their gifted program because they didn't have one.
How'd that work out?
It's nice. It's great.
Is this a humble brag anymore, or is this just
No,
full-on
I'm
brag?
just straight up bragging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Flat out bragging. But then
Yeah.
he also brags about how dumb he is. Like, he really covers
See,
the
that's the
full
thing.
spectrum.
You take it as bragging. I don't ever
Yeah.
consider it bragging. I just think
Attention grabbing.
Yeah, like, we'll be in the middle of a
that's maybe
conversation.
that's maybe
Okay.
more fair. Yes.
Yeah, and Dan will just walk in and be like, I've never seen Godfather! And then just stare at us, just waiting for a response of some sort.
To be fair, it's all true. Like all the dumb things are
Right.
true. I don't make
Right.
anything
No,
up to be dumb.
I mean, I admire your
Dumbness.
willingness to impart that
Give it a few
information.
months.
You'd think that,
Tim's caught morbid than
if I,
literally
you know,
anyone.
I
else.
would just keep it to
I think
myself.
caught wind.
You know, probably.
With foul wind.
We get back to Wario again.
I like Dan a lot.
I like Tim a lot.
We all love each other.
It makes working with each other easier, I'd say.
That's a good thing about Game Informer. I don't think anybody hates anybody else in the office.
No, it's interesting. I wonder how many people there are that like do take seriously like the everyone hates Dan thing.
Right.
It's pretty much just like comes down to just like Dan understands that he's easy to make fun of,
And
and,
I-
will never try to quelch that. You know what I mean? Like he likes it too. So
I think Joe might genuinely have a certain, I don't know, dislike is
Joe
the word.
Juby's a salty mother.
Juby.
Joe Juba and I are very
Joe Juvie
different
belongs in
people.
Juvie.
Do we have to, I'm having fun. Do we have to,
Come on, we
Let's
got.
keep going.
All right, let's do
We
another.
could probably finish it.
Let's play this
No,
forever.
All right, we'll do this one.
All right. My hands are starting to sweat. Which
The
is
Cave
an
of
indication that It's
Johnson.
getting hot in this room.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
is
he's-
this it? Is this the super long level?
Oh, this is a long level. I remember this
Is
bastard.
this the one?
This is the legendary cave level? What was it called?
The
Cave
Cave
of
of
the
Johnson.
The Bandits.
I'll say it again.
It's called Cave of the Bandits?
I think it's called Smokey and the Bandits. I
Cave of the
Cave
Wet
and the
Bandits.
Smoky Bandits.
Band.
think it's called Smokey the Bear.
Look at all that lava.
Yeah, you
Wait,
might want to
I don't have a baby.
The baby.
I don't have a baby.
Get
I'm
rid
calling
of
child
baby.
services.
I held Kyle's baby.
That's right.
I don't really hold babies that often, but I held Kyle's baby.
Yeah, you were running with that thing pretty fast. I didn't know you ran that fast.
California cheeseburger.
Wait,
I'm
what?
hungry.
Wait, hang on. Before he explains himself, did anyone understand what he just referenced?
No, but I'm gonna start
I didn't
listing
either.
food.
Wait, yeah, we need to put an end to that. What was that, Ben?
Caesar salad,
Yeah, what's the California cheeseburger thing? No one knows at all what you were talking
Big
about.
Mac.
Simpsons.
I'm not.
doesn't
I'm not
count.
Where
familiar with
it's
this.
a baby in between two buns. It was an obscure reference, but Dan is also a Simpsons geek.
I am.
I think everybody in this room is a Simpsons geek.
His
and I was
first 10
hoping-
seasons?
Yes.
Oh, man.
But wait,
I'm-
really hoping it would carry
Why did
through.
he say that in the
Wiggum? Does Wiggum say it?
I want to say Wiggum says that. I don't remember the context, though.
Okay.
I haven't watched
They're talking about
Simpsons in a long
hippies.
time.
And for some reason, they're talking about how they have the California cheeseburger. And I just remember there's a picture of somebody eating a baby between two buns. And the joke was that Dan was trying to eat Kyle's baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't get it.
I will no longer make an obscure reference.
That's almost
the hopes.
end-esque.
It's only become
God
more
damn
like noticeable in the recent weeks.
It's bad.
I think.
No, it gets bad. You're right.
I feel bad for your girlfriend.
Yeah, I feel bad for her too. We should send her a letter.
Yeah, Tim,
Just a
this,
thank you letter.
this is the one I love. I think this was in this replay where he was talking about a boss fight. And he just says, he goes like, yeah, the boss fight's almost end-esque. And like, didn't say Metal Gear Solid
We were
3
we were
end-esque.
kind of teasing how this boss was unique, and I called it end-like or end-esque.
Yeah, but
In a lighthearted manner. I didn't
But it sounds like
expect-
final boss like or something.
Right.
Not,
I didn't expect the world to catch that. I wanted to leave it slightly vague so that when we came across it, it'd be a surprise for the viewers. There's logic to the madness.
What's weird to me is like I say a lot of things that don't hit, like because they're stupid. You know what I mean? Or I'm like trying to make a joke, and like I'll own up to it and be like, oh, that was really stupid, like or just apologize.
Kill that
but
mouse.
but you make these statements. You know what I mean? Like these little factoids, and I'm just trying to figure out why it is you don't have to apologize for yours, and I have
I
to.
could
apologize.
start. I could
Well, yours
certainly
are like
start. I'd
puns
probably
and
be more
stuff, Tim.
likable if I started. You're right, Tim.
We're really pulling back the curtain here. Does anyone want to listen to anything about this?
psychoanalysis.
Yeah.
The replay group wants to hear this. I know that.
Just like getting in underneath the fingernails.
Ugh.
That
Or the
hurts. just hearing
toenails,
that
like
sound.
Peel 'em
commercial.
back.
Ugh.
Get them matted in the
Kitten underneath the fingernails.
yeah. What? Peel them back while you're being dragged into the basement. Embed
Yoshi's
them
a-
into the stairs.
Yoshi's Island's a good game.
What are you people talking about?
I don't know about that, Kyle. We've been over this. I think enough's been said about Yoshi's Island.
You guys Mr. Show fans? Do you make Mr. Show references?
Talk with Cork about that.
Yeah, I need to.
That was another one of those that I just couldn't get into. I tried. I watched the first season and a half, but
okay,
I like
will
everyone
say-
involved with it. I love.
I will say-
Oh,
Bro.
burn on the spikes.
The first time I watched Mr. Show, and even like I've tested this theory with like roommates and college dorms and stuff. Like we watched the first episode and like I just didn't get it. The people I was showing didn't get it. But it took watching that first episode a second time to really finally like get it. I don't know what it is. It's just like takes 2 watches and then everything else clicks. I don't know why.
yeah, I hear what you're saying, Kyle. Something great though shouldn't. I feel like it should hit the first time.
But it's subtlety, man. It's all about subtlety.
Get it? No.
Oh, you get it. Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah. Couldn't you have bounced on him, or you have to leave the screen for it to refresh?
I don't know.
So, are we really gonna try to beat this one this time?
Yeah. Do we know?
Oh, you
this
have a
is the
middle
wrong
ring.
one?
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think it is
The one
either.
I'm thinking of is your underground.
I think we already did that one.
Sweet.
I thought so.
Are you just that skilled at the game? I haven't been looking at the game
Well, he's
much. I've
been like
making ugly
rushing through
faces
these
at
things.
Tim.
He's not. I mean, I think probably those levels are longer if you're going for.
Oh no, this is not gonna happen here.
You should have refreshed that that last one.
Yeah.
How many lives do you have? How many lives do you have?
7 or 8.
Do you not? I'm surprised you had so few.
Trying to figure out if this has a run button when you're Mario.
Well, hold down Y.
Okay, I think it does.
Clear that hurdle, man.
If you make one big mistake, you gotta refresh.
Yeah.
Refresh.
Like that.
Oh, he's got it.
yeah. All right, keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it
Oh,
going.
God.
Full
No,
steam.
mistake.
Huh?
Mistake.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Good job.
This is
That
fun.
parachute sucks.
I love levels like this.
Oh,
I'm done for. I didn't know which.
just start floating. Just start floating.
Hover,
You can
hover,
make it-
hover.
You
could have made
I know, but I was holding it before it turned into Yoshi, so it didn't register. It didn't register. Get out! I was trying to. Okay, at least we know it's not the super long level.
Oh man.
All right, this time.
This time. Here we go. Tim, is Mario music ever gonna get old? Are you ever gonna play a Mario game and they're gonna like revive a classic tune? You'll be like, not in the mood.
Nope.
Not in the mood, Miyamoto.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Well, Koji Kondo, I guess you'd be complaining to that.
Koji
guy.
Kondo.
That's amazing. Over that one. Oh, I'm killing it this time. I got
You
it.
got it.
I got it. Look at this, floating right in.
Oh, how many sunflowers did you get?
Look at all those sad
You even
pale
get the
faces.
one
They
flower.
didn't even want to look at
It's
you.
like a Bright Eyes concert right now.
All right.
Wow.
And I like
That was a
Bright Eyes.
good. That's a good reference. Though.
Yeah.
Rim shot
It's
in
just
there.
it's topical and punctual and
I hope Phil doesn't
funny.
hear it. Phil's gonna get mad if he hears that.
No one should be telling people about like stupid interjections less than me. Is that a good sentence?
No.
I'm the last
man.
person
Round
that
two.
should be telling anyone not to say certain things.
So we're gonna keep going.
I think we're calling it a day here.
All right,
What time
let's
is
wrap
it?
it up. This has been a
I
long
take back
episode.
everything I said.
Let's erase this episode.
Strike this from the record.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. That was a fun little romp. We got
Yeah.
to see my favorite boss fight in the game.
And you think it's probably a fair assumption that we're gonna beat this next time?
I think that's very fair, but I think every time we've said that in a Super Replay, it's taken us 3 episodes, maybe 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there is
that's
a really
only-
tough part where you have to be the plane and you're flying and there's a bunch of stuff flying at
Right.
you.
Well, that's the last level, right? This.
I think it's
the-
going
that's
up
the
to
intro of the last
Yep,
level,
Yep,
yeah.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
it's brutal. But Timothy Turi, thank you so much for joining us.
It was fun.
You've been a delight. Kyle Hyrulean, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Another new last name. Okay.
the new Dan.
The new Dan.
Dan 2.0.
Yep.
Dan 1.0, Dan 800, I'll call you. Thank you so much.
Dan 2600.
So
Good
the next
job
one would be the
playing
DX.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Dan
All right,
Cube.
and I hope you guys tune in for the next episode. Thank you again. Goodbye.
Bye. Some paradiddles. Drummers? Anybody? No? Paradiddles?
No idea what that is.
Come on, guys. Paradiddles.
Yeah, we had time. Yeah. So we'll cut them off. She's secret to the wagon. I get it, but she knows what she hides it.
It's Yoshi's Island Athletic theme.
What?
It's video game music.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island. I know that one.
Well, that other one that you recorded,
Who did this one?
I ran that.
Koji Kondo.
I think we should play this.
Or Kondo Koji.
Cool. Get your flute.
Yes.